Story dominates this morning. In the early hours of this morning, Britain launched a joint airstrike with the United States and France against Syria in response to the suspected chemical weapons attack that happened in eastern Ghouta a week ago.
Theresa May said she hadn't taken the decision to commit British armed forces in combat lightly, but had judged it to be in the national interest.
Well, on the other side of the Atlantic, in a television broadcast from the White House, President Trump described the alleged attack last Saturday as the crime of a monster and not the action of a man.
And in a build-up to reaction, Russia has warned that there will be consequences for those airstrikes. The Syrian government has described them as a flagrant violation of international law. Our first report is from Ben Ando.
With afterburners glowing and loaded with Storm Shadow cruise missiles, 4 RAF Tornadoes take to the skies as Britain's contribution to raids launched overnight in response to Syria's alleged use of chemical weapons. Planes and missiles from the US and France joined the raid, and explosions were seen across Damascus as the Syrians launched their own defence rockets.
This is not about intervening in a civil war. It is not about regime change. It is about a limited and targeted strike that does not further escalate tensions in the region and that does everything possible to prevent civilian casualties.
The targets are said to be chemical weapons research centres on the outskirts of the Syrian capital Damascus and storage depots and a command post located about 15 miles west of Homs. As the attack got underway, President Trump went on TV with a message to Syria's allies, Iran and Russia.
What kind of a nation wants to be associated with the mass murder of innocent men, women, and children? The nations of the world can be judged by the friends they keep. No nation can succeed in the long run by promoting rogue states, brutal tyrants, and murderous dictators.
Other reaction was confined to Twitter, Russia's US ambassador writing, "A pre-designed scenario is being implemented. Again, we are being threatened. We warned that such actions would not be left without consequences." While NATO Secretary-General Jens Stoltenberg tweeted that those using chemical weapons had to be held accountable. And the Foreign Secretary wrote that the world was united in disgust at the use of chemical weapons, especially against civilians. There was defiance on the streets of Damascus this morning, but the aim of these strikes was to get rid of Bashar al-Assad's illegal chemical weapons, not his regime. Ben Ando, BBC News.